The loons sang their eerie calls across the dark water as me brought from an utter mudder. Colin waved and drove off into the night. I was already gone, see, just a shade walking my old Kilbride's stomping grounds one last time. The rotten bride pulling me back for the final reel. Before the next act I turned and bent down slow, camera catching only the motion. When I rose, my shadow kept going. It turned into something else and walked right through the iron gate ahead of me, bold as brass, slipping between worlds while the flesh stayed behind for a breath. What waited for it on the other side? The veil whispered its secrets.
Everything went black, the veil swallowed the light until the chronovision spark fought its way back on.
Cutting through the dark like a dying man's last flash. Up the path I went, eyes on that city sign, glowing code under the king's watch. That's what Weez is living with, I cursed low. The king owns everything, Weez not allowed to use it, not allowed to do nothing. The words hung heavy like chains on the rotting bride, and I seen it. Bright orange glow way back across the pond, far enough that sound should carry clear, but not a single voice, not a laugh. Nothing in 30 years, not once in the history of the world have I seen lights from Petty Harbor or Maddox Cove from the Kilbride side. You need a vehicle to get right up the top of the hill for that easterly backcountry weave, near enough Blackhead and Cape Spear country. Stays black as the bride's rot from this low vantage. It sat low near the tree line, but from higher up it looked like it was hovering, calling.
Oh boys, I said voice rising like an old hymn.
I think Weez is going to a party tonight! Or could be a bonfire, or something older. Not old fishermen who read the ring, the optical guide the boys used, rocks and the glimmer on cliffs that catches the soul. He spoke of a beach rock split clean in half, knowing exactly where he threw it, waiting for hacksaws and the right tide. On the spring equinox when the tide is late, you will find the harvest gate. The Sabbath fires only burn in silence when the right eyes are watching.
Quads rumbled past, I kept my light low, waved to the riders on the other side so as not to blind them. They waved back the goodbyes from Port Oaks, Basque, blood still running strong. Further on around the shacks, the artwork on the walls caught my eye. Raw, real, like the bride herself marking territory.
Okay guys on quads, Saturday night in the gates. Weez is going to a party! But in the saga, it becomes Sabbath day night at the gates. I pushed into the brush, calling soft, "MuerteZ, MuerteZ, where are you?" The land answered with eiger-rotted trees, deep pine needles, and turned over rocks. I found the perfect walking stick, warm in my hand like she just set it there, watching from the shadows. Here's the walking stick MuerteZ leaves for now. The altar's gotta be around here somewhere. I walked out on a collapsed tree, one side a 30-foot drop, the other safe brush. Dave, I hopped and shouted into the camera, "Am I gonna die today?" Then laugh low. Nope, not today. It felt solid, even as the flesh was already failing. Kept searching for the old altar, that concrete fisherman station with the square drainage channels I used growing up. Couldn't find it in the rots, so the white guardian stone would do. There it was, pale granite rising from the needles, moss covered and steady. I claimed it with the ash staff cut from Harlequin's tree, ribbon tight. This is mine now. The white stone felt like a threshold holding the Markland quest. But from the quads, the goodbyes seen it different. They circled back after a half-hour chat. Porto boss boys checking on the weird guy they figured was nuts but harmless, leaning into the old Basque heritage for the password. Osiris rites or something close enough to slip the veil. There he was, slumped just outside the iron gate, ash staff still clutched in his crypt, white stone nearby like a marker. No pulse, eyes open, staring toward the pond where the silent glow still cold. What he heard, boys? One muttered, but the land answered only with loons and wind through the pines. They knew then he'd already walked through. The shadow kept going deeper into the backcountry toward the ring in whatever waits the harvest gate. The rotten bride claimed her own that night, leaving the body at the threshold. But the real quest crossed Sabbath day night. At the gate